I made the biggest mistake in my golf game that anybody can make when they're hitting on their simulator. Drives me crazy. So, what am I always helping people out with when they are trying to correct this problem or prepare to go outside? You have to be able to do this to take your game from in here to out on the golf course. It's control your low point. I need to make sure when I'm hitting inside, I don't want my low point being at the golf ball. Lowest point being the bottom of my swing arc, the lowest point that it is going down. That is where they're measuring it on something like Flight Scope or anything that measures a number similar. I need that to be in front of the golf ball. I need it I'm hitting a 7-iron 4 inches in front of the golf ball, not 1 or 2, because when I get outside, I'm not gonna have that same cushion and I'm not gonna probably perform it the same as we go. Now, how can we move that low point forward and what should we be feeling? What do I need to be feeling as I go through to do this? Well, here's a couple of things. One, if we're gonna move the low point forward, the biggest thing is low point is controlled by what we call the sacrum. It's on your back. So essentially just think about the small of your back. That's the easiest way to think about it. Where that is typically where your low point is going to be. So as I go through and I make my swing, I turn, you can see the small of my back is pointing at the screen. It's also moving forward towards the screen. Now I need to control that. A lot of times when I see people, when they get outside, because they're not hitting into a screen, because they're not worried about where it goes as much, they're kind of just swinging, they don't lose control of that part of their body. When they get outside though, they want to hit everything at the target. So what happens is everything starts opening up, but your chest will face forward, but this part of your body, again, the small of my back, is going to start moving backwards. Now I'm going to get steeper and that low point is going to start moving back. One of those little tricky things. You can rotate. I'm not saying you don't have to stay still or anything, but I need to make sure I rotate and get everything pushing forward as we go. If I can do that, I'm going to be in better shape. So when I'm hitting it, if I can focus on keeping everything back to the target, all of a sudden my low point moves much, much more forward, 4.7 inches in front. That is what we are looking for, and that's how we're going to make much, much more crisp contact. What happens if I do it the other way? Well, here's what it'll look like. I'll go ahead and set up. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to control that, and I'm going to move that low point, and let's see what happens. Now, very exaggerated, but you can see that is moving backwards. That's moving backwards. That's going to cause us some problems. So getting that part under control. Now, the other big thing, and this is the one that really drove me crazy, is when we go to do this, we need to feel like we are hitting. We should not feel the mat almost at all. I think this is really important. Maybe you don't do this all winter, but when you're hitting the golf ball, I want to feel like I am hitting all golf ball. It should be very, very obvious that I'm hitting the ball. And I almost like for people to feel like they're hitting it a groove low, almost like a bladed shot, but not quite to that level. I want to feel like it's a touch thin as I go through. So the shot should go, it should rise up in the air, it should get some air time, but it's going to feel like I caught it just a hair thin as we go. Because again, when we get outside, when things really start to matter, it's not going to do that, okay? You will not be there. And it's always, always, always easier to take something back a little bit than get there in the first place. So as I go through, if I'm going to keep control of my low point, I'm going to keep control of making sure I got all the ball first. There is no doubt that I got golf ball all on that one. You can see low point, 5.5. That's what I want. If I want 4 inches outside, I want 5.5 in front, inside. I want more in here to make sure I am striking the golf ball first. So again, what's going to happen here is I'm gonna go back. I need to move everything forward so I feel like I'm basically hitting it like on the top of the ball. As long as I'm moving forward and I'm driving down, I really want to feel like I'm trapping that golf ball a ton as we go through here. Just like that. That ball 5.4 in front. See how consistent that is as we go? That is what we are looking for as we're trying to get this low point. Make that contact. And that's what I didn't do while I was on the trip. And the last thing that you need to do, and this one drives me nuts because I know this. I know it. You need to trust your hands, and you need to let your hands and arms do a lot of the work. When I get outside, again, that target gets out there. I want to hit it at the target. It's so easy to start moving everything with the body. I'm going to go get it with the body. No matter who you watch, who you see swing, whatever they say they do, hands are super, super important in a golf swing. You have to use your hands to hit a golf ball. So this is where golf gets a little bit backwards. Again, as we start trying to move forward, people in theory could hit down in front of the golf ball, moving that low point forward, but I'm so high above the ball, I have to start crashing down. It's not about where you're at position-wise that gets you in front. It's about, are you giving your hands and arms the opportunity to extend that club out in front? So typically I'm going to see people feel like, again, we want to keep the small of our back pointing at the target, feel like we're coming down, and our hands and arms have to get the club low enough so then they can work towards the target. That's the big key here as we do that. And if I can do that and kind of combine everything, so I'm going to go up, I'm going to move everything, moving the small of my back to the target, trying to hit that ball, and I'm going to get my arms, take that club through to the golf ball. There's no doubt that I hit golf ball. Now that's 4.6. I actually would like it a little more forward, but there's no doubt that I struck that golf ball first, and I'm going to have predictable shots when I play. That is something I struggled with, especially at the start. Figured it out a little bit as we got going. And to be fair, anytime you change your environment, there's always going to be a little bit of a learning curve. So getting outside and practicing a little bit really will help. But man, it's frustrating because I know what to do. I obviously help a lot of people doing this stuff, but when it comes to my own game, I forget it sometimes and it gets frustrating. But you just get back on the horse, use your data, use your numbers, start looking at what you can do, and start figuring out how you need things to feel when you're inside so that they translate outside, i.e., we are going to make sure we almost feel like we're hitting it a touch thin when we are hitting that golf ball. Now, as we go through, obviously not going to want that outside, but it's going to be very, very helpful as you go through. So it was great to get back outside. It was great to get working on things, but man, it's just frustrating when you do these things and you know it, but that's golf. It's always going to happen, and it's something that we all have to work through, even if you are an accomplished player. I like to think I'm decent at this game, but it's something that we can always struggle with and go through as well. So if you want more information about low point, make sure you check out the video here that we did going through that whole number in detail. And as always, click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.